everyone, welcome to part 3 of my walk along the Scarborough to Whitby Railway. This is the third part. I've already done 1 and 2 obviously. The first part being from Scarborough to Cloughton and the second being from Cloughton to Ravenscar, and that is exactly where I am now. Now what I'm looking at in this line as well, which I find very important, and I'd like to ask the question, and you can comment below, could and should this line be reopened if possible? Because from everything I've seen, the only 2 little bits that are missing are down at Scarborough, where the marshalling yard used to be, and also at Cloughton, where the station was. You have to go through a little bit of a housing estate. You can see that in part 1. So could and should this line be reopened? So let's have a look at Rail Map Online and we'll take a look at where we've been so far and where we're going today. So the full route is from Scarborough right through to Whitby, around about 21 miles in length, and we go through places such as Cloughton, Ravenscar, Robin Hood's Bay, and of course onto Whitby. So in this particular walk, part 3, we're going to begin where we left off at Ravenscar Station. We're going to take a look inside Ravenscar Tunnel, around about 279 yards in length. We'll enter from the north portal and walk south before continuing the journey along the coastal section of this very picturesque and beautiful line before we go inland, and we'll curve around and go to the site of where Fyling Hall station was. I've got some lovely photos of these to show you later on, before gradually moving inland towards our destination today of Robin Hood's Bay. We'll get right back to the coast and have a look there before we finish today's walk. Right, so at the end of part 2, we finished at Ravenscar Station, closed in 1964. That is just down there. Now, at this point, we have to leave the track bed. You can see that stone wall. It's a grey and white bunny rabbit in there. Can you see it? It's pretty random. There he goes. And where the stone wall pretty much ends is where Ravenscar Railway Tunnel is. And that is going to be the first part of our journey off to Robin Hood's Bay in this part. We're going to Robin Hood's Bay. It's the shortest part of the entire walk that I'm doing, of all 4 parts, but as it involves the tunnel, that'll make it a little bit longer. It'd be nice to get out of the sun for around about 15-20 minutes as well, and I'll take some lovely photos as well. So 35 yards in, look, we've got the second recess on the right hand side. It's really, really dark, dingy stonework on both sides, with an old red brick roofing covering all the way up the top, which will take us underneath Ravenscar. There's the view looking back a little bit. Look, I'll line that up a little bit better in a moment for you. So the recesses are extremely close together. There's another one on the left, and if we shoot across immediately to the right, we've got another one, look. Stone side walls, back wall, and a red brick arch. There's some old rods sticking out there, which would have been for the cables, look. You see them? All the way down. There's something peculiar on the roof just there too. I wonder what that could have been. I suppose it's there for reinforcement. Little bit of bricked up repairs, all that bit. It's got a great big chunk missing out of it. Light that up. There we go. And pretty similar here before we get to the 5th recess. on the left hand side. Facing the direction of Whitby and Robin Hood's Bay and Scarborough is around about 13 miles behind us. That's little beautiful, isn't it? That could be the best bit of footage I've ever got, and it's just showing you it is the camera look and not a photo. So yeah, there's a bit of a gradient. So you can see all the little cable hooks just there, all rusting away. There's a few missing. Same stonework, same refuges pretty much throughout. On the other side, exactly the same. We've got a few more patched up locations just here, look, which have been repaired. It's a lovely roof, isn't it? A variation of colours. Still got some soot marks. Now we're at 200 yards. Another refuge on the left, look, full of old, well, that'd be old cabling, wouldn't it, from the railway? All ravelled up and scruffed up into there, into that refuge. And near the other end, more and more red brick is apparent as we get to the southern portal. That's got quite a nice archway to it, hasn't it? And that's all because it's basically crumbled away, hasn't it? And we find it down there. So currently at 220 yards, and the portal is very much in sight. Just look at those stunning views. Absolutely astounding. Perfect weather. Robin Hood's Bay, just there. So as we leave Ravenscar Tunnel behind, we've got about 4.5 miles to get to Robin Hood's Bay. If I turn you around, just over there, because we've got to do a great big curve around to get to it. It's 3.5 miles if you follow the coastal path from Ravenscar itself, but it's 5 miles this way, so it is longer, but we're here to do the railway, aren't we? So that is what we should do. Look at that bird. It's a nice little bridge, isn't it? Probably some sort of private access, farm access. Got the red brick arch. Notice the little skewed angle on the right hand side. But basically large chunks of stonework. And on the other side, yeah, pretty much exactly the same. But very, very nice, isn't it? Now I don't quite know what's happened to the track bed here. Whether they lost some of it. Unsure, because it is absolutely just dropping down at quite a gradient, and this can't be right, can it? So I don't know, but if you look at the bridge you can just see that poking out over the top. It's almost as if this something has been put here since, and this is actually the higher bit, and we're coming back down to the level of the track bed where the bridge is. There's a former bridge just there, look. I don't think I can get down to it, although it appears to be a footpath of some sort. You see it? No, not really. But I think this one's a no-go. See the side walls just there, the abutments. I can't actually see a way down to it, but it does look like a public footpath. The old, I think it was a brick or clay quarry over there in the distance as well. There we go, look, we've got some sleepers set in the ground still. How about that? I think that bench has seen better days. Let's have a look here, shall we? So it was an alum quarry known as Brickyards. Ravenscar Brick Works. Let's go and have a little look around while we've got time. So, if we take a look at railmaponline.com, again, Ravenscar Station was on the right hand side, but the brickworks and kilns and all the quarry was in this little area just here. You can see extra blue lines just there, and that would have been for sidings. But looking at it in more detail, you can see another line appearing, and this was a former tramway, the Stony Marmore Gannister Quarries tramway, and that goes all the way across the moorland, right across to almost where the A171 is. So that might be something to come back for and have a closer look at. You never know what could be lying around, do you? If we look at this map from around about 1901, you can see the P. Alum quarry was absolutely huge. It absolutely dominated the area. Ravenscar on the right and the railway line going straight through the centre of it. Absolutely extraordinary. Potentially something to do with a kiln maybe over there, look. Let's have a look around here. It's all the random bricks that's been made into a path. And there's another opening there, look. It does look a bit kiln-like. All the way along. We've got those rugged brick walls sticking out. Look at that one. Pitch black in there. Absolutely no way in. I didn't realise this was going to be so big. The state of it, that one's collapsed, look. Rather than being filled in, you can just make out a bit of archway just there. And around we go to the other end. That bridge is just there. Let's see if I can get over there and we'll have a little look at that. That's a curious double arch design, isn't it? Both completely different, almost like that was for road traffic, which it really isn't a road, and that's for pedestrian traffic. So all I could assume that this was something to do with the brick alum works over there, and maybe horses and carts or trucks in later years used this one, and this was to save passage for work or pedestrians to go through, because I don't see any other reason why it wouldn't be like maybe like one big arch. Let's go through and we'll have a look at it from the other side. It's good, isn't it? Look at the two different levels of that like coping stone there as well. That's really nice. Nice little surprise, that one. Look at the views here. So I've just come up to where Wonky Bench is. So the tunnel, about half a mile, the hotel up there, all this. Just take it in. And this bit's a bit peculiar. It's just a sudden drop down. I'm assuming it's going to go up again the other side, I don't know. Or if we temporarily lost the track bed maybe, because that bit looks really flat just there. And this is a path that's just temporarily diverted round, because that's definitely not a track bed, is it? And it's still flat over there. So I think we've slightly gone off course. You can't walk on that, it's all overgrown. Now look here, sleeper indentations. How about that? I wonder how many people walk along here and don't realise that's what they would have been. It's where stone and ballast has been left, look. And you can see where the sleepers would have been. Isn't that great? There's a bit of a gap and then there's a few more. As it curves around on quite a camber. Can you make that out? That's good, isn't it? And if you ever did see a gateway to a gorgeous view, then this is it. Absolutely tremendous, isn't it? What it must have been like to have been looking out those carriage windows along this route, or even getting the job of working on there as well. Yeah, there's a stone bridge there, look. Some farm buildings there. Look more like holiday lets now. The other side of it is here, look. And that's the view you'd be welcome to if you went through it. So Robin Hood's Bay, this is the point where it just loops around rather than follow the coastline. Robin Hood's is over there. And I'm coming all the way over here. And we literally got to go all the way over there and around. Take ages. Probably be easier to do it that way, but I like walking, so no. Another bit of old access here, look, nice little short bridge. See if I can hang you over. There you go, look. Just make it out. It's fenced off now, sheep in the field. Got some sleepers just there, look, this old crossing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. And just like that, we go into more of a woodland setting. We've left the open coastal edge bit behind that we've followed since Ravenscar. It's quite a deep, steep cut in there. Look. Oh, that's a drop down there. There's a bridge up here as well. That's a long way down there. I can see a stream going down there. I wonder if that's the one that goes to Boggle Hole. I so wish I could could get down there, because I bet that's an astonishing culvert to go down. And out the other end. That's one to make a note of, that is, isn't it? To come back for. I can see the stream running. It's a very, very long way down. I couldn't even guess how many feet or meters that is. Nice little bridge coming up though. At a bit of an angle. Let's get you closer. That's got some chunky stonework, hasn't it? I have to watch it with lens flare, because when I started all these videos this morning, when I set off this morning from Scarborough, the sun was behind me, and now in this direction it's in front of me. Let's go through, and I'm sure it looks just as nice on the other side. And it does, look at that. Very jungle-like, very atmospheric. Not long after, another nice little bridge. Very, very narrow. Very different to all the others as well we've seen on this route so far. This is red brick, no stone. Look at that. How observant of me that is. Yeah. Still looks good. Still looks very good. Now at this point we reached where Fyling Hall station was, and it consisted of a single platform. It opened on the 16th of July 1885, but it was temporarily closed in 1915, but reopened in 1920, so probably something to do with World War I. And it continued on to soldier on in service right through till 1965, when the line closed completely. Not been long before we're passing the campsite down here. I must have been there many, many times over the years, at least double figures, a dozen or so times. Who's been there? The campsite, it's the farm, what's it called, Fylingdales? Can't actually remember, but I'll show you it when we go past. And it's just before, you know, you'd follow it from the campsite, you follow this track bed down to Robin Hood's Bay, maybe to the pub, or in the day, in the morning. I think pretty much everybody that stays there does that. There's another drainage channel down there, look, going along there. A bit like we saw around about Staintondale. Oh, this is a big one, isn't it? Double arch, maybe even triple. Yeah, there's a third arch on the right. Mixture of stone and red brick. Got to be a road going over that. There's another stream flowing down there. There was one back there as well, which I didn't mention, so that's 3 of them, so there's got to be a few good culverts underneath here. Richard, if you're watching this, we're coming back. We need to go and have a bit of a paddle. It's made up of all old sleepers over there, that fence. You're a cutie, aren't you? You've got a lot of flies annoying you though, haven't you? Yes. Oh, and your little doody friend over there. So we are getting very, very close to the end of this particular journey. There's another little bridge just there, look. It's got a stream going through it. Although it usually does. There's water up there, it's just dry around there at the moment. So we'll get as far as the station, and that'll be it for this particular video, and then we'll pick it up again. And I think again we've got a different variation in the 4th instalment, because that's going to feature Lolpool Viaduct. It's brilliant. So we've had the more suburban areas of part 1, we've had the idyllic locations of part 2. This particular part has had a lot of cliff edge views and stuff, hasn't it? And then the 4th one is going to have more cliff edgeness and going off to that beautiful viaduct that you're going to see. So let's see you down at the station. Opened in 1885, closed in 1965, and consisted of 2 platforms. Now this photo is absolutely extraordinary. I've never seen a photo of where the railway crosses the roads going into Robin Hood's Bay. This is absolutely beautiful. You can see the hotels and the buildings and what they are today in the background. I believe this was the very last day that there was workings. I may be wrong, but I believe that's when it was. March 1965. There we go, the old station building, looking absolutely pristine. Beautiful, isn't it? Self-catering accommodation here apparently as well. Sounds curious. I'm actually going to pick up a leaflet and have a look at that. I do hope you enjoyed this part of my journey from Scarborough to Whitby. Part 4, we're going to carry on and do that now, but for me at Robin Hood's Bay, this is it for this particular video. More comments below, please, suggestions below, and of course if you're not subscribed, why not? It really would support me and you won't miss anything in future. Notification bell as well, make sure you hit that and you'll always be notified of new videos and updates. See you in the next one, bye bye.